Well. How's it going out there today, boys and girls? There's been a lot of stuff going on here lately in the off season. Um, there is a rumor that they're going to expand the playoffs to 12 teams. And then a lot of people's been clamoring for that because they think that's going to curb the old SEC. See all these logos? See them? See them? See all them logos? All you haters out there that have been complaining about people saying SEC, and that they're riding Alabama's coattails. Well, I've already explained why they're not riding Alabama's coattails because there have been four national champions this century from this conference, which no other conference has done. But that's already been uh, beat upon. So what we got here is a 12-team playoff. And I want to tell you guys and gals out here why this is an advantageous situation for the SEC. This is actually going to help the SEC and Alabama dominate more, even though all these people think that this is going to be the solution to curb that. But before I get into that in more detail and tell you why, you're actually shooting yourselves in the foot once again. I'd like to ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel because this is the home of the Common Joe and the Common Sally in the know, even more so than those media talking heads. Oh yeah, by the way, in case you didn't know, my name's JPC and this is J&J Outlaw Sports. Now, let's get right to it. 12 teams is going to allow the SEC more opportunity. You people think that it's going to curb the problem, but it's not. Case in point, this past year, if there had been a 12-team playoff, guess who would have been in? Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and Texas A&M would have all been in the playoff. Florida and their players likely wouldn't have sat out like they did against Oklahoma in the irrelevant Sugar Bowl that they played in. They would have actually played probably in that game because it meant something more so than just playing in a bowl game that garners you nothing other than a victory in an irrelevant bowl game. So you would have four teams in there last year. And who's to say that those four teams, if seeded right, all four teams could end up playing each other in the Final Four? Then you're not just going to have one or two SEC teams. You're going to have four SEC teams in the Final Four. It's just like back in the day. What this all stems from is when Alabama and LSU played in a rematch in 2011, and everybody was up in arms and saying, hey, we need to be included. This is unfair, even though they were the two best teams. It's just like in the NFL, the two best teams from the AFC and the NFC playing in the Super Bowl, regardless if they're from the same state. If you look back at the day, the New York Giants played the Buffalo Bills one year in the Super Bowl. But you didn't see them going out and being a spastic and changing the formula. See, that was the first time that had ever happened in the BCS. Just one time is all it took. And they had a knee-jerk reaction, and that knee-jerk reaction has led to the 4-team playoff. See, if Alabama, for example, let's microcosm this down because there's a lot of Alabama hate out there, not just SEC. If the 4-team playoff had never been instituted, Alabama would have never won two of their national championships, most likely, because if I'm not mistaken, I know one year they were seeded fourth and won the championship, and one year they were seeded, I think, maybe third and won a national championship. Now, I could be wrong on the third thing, but instead of having 6 out of 12, Alabama would have only had 4 out of 12 had the BCS formula had stayed intact. Now, I do like the 4-team playoff. I think it's a good thing. I think 2 is not enough. But, like I said, you guys keep expanding thinking this is going to help curb the Alabama and the SEC domination, and all it's doing is providing them more opportunity to get in the playoff. So, what are y'all going to do to stop this? The only thing to do is to, and it's pretty obvious, I mean, it's Captain Obvious stuff, is you just got to make it mean more. You got to make it mean more. You got to become more fanatical, more supportive, and have your boosters put the resources and the facilities in place and the development for the players that they need in order to compete with these juggernauts that are the SEC. You guys and gals tell me, what do you think? What do you think is going to curb the SEC and the Alabama domination? Because this is not the answer. I'm telling you. Y'all think now it is, but it's not. You're going to end up, what's going to end up happening? You may not have 4, but you definitely going to have 4 in the playoff. But one year you're going to have it where there's going to be 3 out of 4 of the Final 4 be SEC teams, because you can afford to go out and schedule more luxurious games. Like Alabama could go out now and they could schedule a game against, say, they got Miami. They could just add like a Michigan or Ohio State. And if they lose that game, they could still get in the playoff. And it allows them to have more access and be more out there and exposure. It gives them that massive exposure by being able to play those extra hard non-conference games. So I'm just telling you guys, I think that going to this 12-team playoff is going to do nothing but benefit the SEC. And that's all I got to say about that. You guys and gals tell me what you think. And as always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button for me. And that way, when we get to 1,000 subscriptions, if you guys and gals out there we can find a meetup time that's kosher for everybody. We'll have a little tailgate get together and have a party when we get to 1,000 subscriptions. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams.